right, what's up, y'all? This is Mustafa. Welcome to another episode of Xposure Runs the podcast. Of course, today we have the top two brothers in Illinois, along with their father. We have Jeremy Fierce Sr., Jeremy Fierce Jr., and Jeremiah Fierce. What's up, fellas?
What's up? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? You know.
What's up, Jeremiah?
How you doing?
Don't get quiet now, brother. You had a lot going on right before we went on the air. I want to make sure you get your fair shine as not the younger brother, but the younger of the older brother. All right, so we're just gonna jump right into this interview. I hope y'all don't mind. Right off the back.
I don't know what I just did. You tapped the interview. You watching it on the live? My bad.
No, it's all good.
I don't even know how that worked.
So right off the back, Jeremiah and Jeremy, who is the better player?
Me, for sure.
I definitely say it's me, just because I bring everything to the game. The defense, rebounding, shooting, the passing. You just gotta have it all.
What about you, Jeremiah? What you got?
I'm definitely the best player, the best brother as well.
Best brother and best player.
Yeah, I shoot, defend, playmate. I just do everything. I bring everything to the table. So it's me for sure.
What about you, Pop? Who's the better player? Who's the better son?
In what aspect?
All aspects.
They different. You know what I'm
Easy
saying? They different. They unique in their own ways. Jeremiah probably caused me a little bit more trouble. Innocently though, like it ain't nothing crazy.
Right.
But Jeremy, he's just a good kid. I don't know if he ever got in trouble, like ever, like in his life. He just really don't do nothing. And he a good big brother. He lead by example. He's just a good, humble kid in general. He don't cause no problems. But Jeremiah don't cause no problems either. But he just like real like hee ha ha, real goofy. You know what I'm saying? And like to, get into
Everything.
Yeah, everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the Sun Times just named y'all both the best siblings in Illinois history. Like that's a huge thing. Like Illinois history, the history of Illinois basketball. And all of y'all know I'm not really from Illinois. I'm from Philadelphia. But I know the culture and the history of Illinois. Can y'all both speak to what that means and like how much possible pressure that is?
Overall, it's a big accomplishment. It's big time. Just to be named best siblings. I don't know if that was a award for real, but but just overall, that's big. It's kind of gonna be hard to beat.
Yeah.
And
I don't think Illinois will ever have siblings like y'all again.
Yeah.
And then y'all got a younger brother as well coming out.
I'll say the craziest thing is there's still another one.
I know.
So I don't know how you award that, but
right.
I would say, I don't know. Like he said, I don't know if it's something that's a real thing,
right.
But I get where they was going with it,
right.
What they was trying to do, and just to have two brothers that's, accomplished and headed in the same type of direction. It's probably, tough to do. And then, like, even all year with them being home, I think Jeremy was probably ranked number one in the state in his class. And then Jeremiah ranked number one. And I don't know if that's ever been done
I don't think that's ever happened either.
So,
and being from Illinois, being from Philadelphia, rather, from Pennsylvania, now I could be wrong and somebody can correct me, but I don't know if Pennsylvania has had that. So, that is a huge thing. Jeremiah, like, what does that mean to you to know that you and your brother are being considered the best brothers in the history of Illinois basketball?
That's definitely something to take into consideration and to be proud about, because we both, I guess, earned that award or title, as you could say, but it just feels good.
Okay. One thing that I noticed when y'all came in that I think is pretty dope is that y'all brothers, like y'all really interact like y'all brothers, regardless of y'all social and social media and just kind of basketball status. Like, kind of like talk about how often do y'all or did y'all fight growing up as siblings?
Probably almost every day. Whether it's
game, toys, basketball. This is something that is probably going to be an argument about, but, you know, it's a short period of time. It'd be like 5-10 minutes.
All right.
Other than that, back to playing the game together, playing basketball together, joking, watching cartoons, movies, games. So
and it was like no real fight.
Right.
You feel me? Like he said, if it wasn't something simple, you know, I can't even tell you the last time, unless they was hooping.
I was going to kind of segue into that.
If they hooping, I think it might have took like 10 years for them to even finish a one-on-one game. Because like once it get down to the wire, it's going to be some scratching and hacking and punching and kicking and
Jeremiah
wrestling. And they both was like competitive. They ain't then one-on-one to lose. Like, and I sit there and let them the whole time too.
Just let them go.
What? I let them fight. I don't just watch them.
Okay.
It didn't matter, you know what I'm saying? But at some point, the game would end just with their mom or something like, all right, game is over.
That's enough.
Yeah, that's
enough. Right.
Yeah, I can't even remember like a lot of game. And then, I forgot. And then when somebody did win, I could never be officiate because I cheated.
Yeah, because you cheated for them.
I cheated. If Jeremiah won, Jeremy gonna say I cheated. If Jeremy won,
Jeremiah gonna say you cheated.
Every single time I cheated.
What about you, Jeremy? Like what, Jeremiah? Rather, I'm sorry. What was that like growing up? You know, and y'all having those sibling rivalries on the court. You know, probably playing with toys, the video game. Like what was that like?
At home, it's definitely been fights, but mainly because Jeremy started it. Or he was just tripping. But on the court, it's been a lot of fights too, one-on-ones. Like he said, we never used to really finish, but as we got older, we finished, and 99% of the time I win. So.
It's cap. I knew he was gonna say some cap.
No
I'll
cap.
give y'all the real after you finish.
All right, cool. All right, so what I'd like you to do now, Jeremy, is break down your brother's game. What are his strengths and what are his weaknesses? And then Jeremiah, I'm gonna ask you to do the same for him.
Okay.
I definitely say Jeremiah's strengths is, you know, shooting, playmaking, his ability to score, his ability to shoot from anywhere on the court.
I seen that.
You know, his defense got a lot better. I give defense a strength for him now. You know, he has some big time steals, big time plays.
And I just seen one recently.
Weekend,
yeah, yep. I saw that.
His rebounding got a lot better. IQ is strong, but I definitely say his weaknesses is probably just mental battle. Just make sure you're keeping his head, whether it's good or bad.
Okay.
Try to stay level headed and just always make sure he can control himself.
Okay. What about you, Jeremiah? How would you scout your brother? What are his strengths and what are his weaknesses?
His strengths are definitely leading, as you know, as people know him as the floor general, leading, defending. Almost every team he's played with or been playing with, they win. So you could say he's a winner. His shot came a long way. He could shoot, kind of now. Shoot kind of now. That's his strengths, and his weaknesses, he don't really have any. Just he have his moments where he get frustrated when he don't make shots. But other than that, nothing really I can think of.
Okay. Pop, I want you to break down both their games. What are their strengths and what are their weaknesses?
So I'm gonna start with Jeremy. So just like Jeremiah said, so his strengths is obviously he a leader, winner, floor general, ultra competitor. You know what I'm saying? He has intangibles, things that you can't teach. IQ, I always knew he had a super IQ, like super high IQ at a young age. Just like I remember I was overseas and I'd be playing and my boys was like 4 or 5 years old, 3, I don't know. And I'd come home and they'd be sitting front row. I'd be watching. I'd come home and Jeremy would be like, "Dad, you know, why you didn't do this?" Or on that play, you know what I'm saying, he should have did that, or that wasn't a goal 10, or you know, he shouldn't have did that at this moment, or you should have. I'm talking about 4 or 5 years old. Just understanding the game was just different.
Right.
And I didn't think Jeremiah would have that. to be honest. So IQ crazy, you know, pick and roll ability, two-way, guard, ultra quick, fast, you know, athleticism came out of nowhere. You know, weakness was obviously the jump shot. Like, we always knew we had to put in work on that. But a lot of people don't know how far Jeremy came. Like, he was terrible when he was younger. Like, he couldn't chew gum and walk straight. Like, he was, I'm being real. Like, he was bad. Like, all the way up until, like, 7th grade. I almost made him stop playing. Yeah, we got into it. Like, he just always wanted that. Yeah, he know. He always just want to play the video game and, you know, cry to his mom. And, you know, he always had this little attitude. Jeremy ain't love the game. He ain't care about the game. Like, he video, I say, I'm not going to force you. Like, I could care less.
Right.
So I used to just be locked in. Me and Jeremiah started traveling all around the country. Jeremy, you know, took a little time off, and then one day he woke up, and then I could tell, like, he wanted to do it again. But I had to really lock in and start training with him because he was bad. Like, I didn't even know. I didn't think he'd even be like a Division I ball player at one point. And then all of a sudden, it just came out of nowhere. I was like, okay. So Jeremy, like, he got pretty much everything you could, coach's dream you could want, except for we just got to get him shooting that ball at a high level. It's reps, confidence and reps. Jeremiah, over special, like, at a young age. You know, we was in 2nd grade, 1st grade, he 30 points, easy. You know what I'm saying? Playing up, just a bucket getter. So it was funny with him how he started. He used to walk in the gym, and he wouldn't even do no layups, warm up, nothing. He'd just take the ball, start throwing full court shots. I'm talking about just launching them, falling on the ground, just launching. He always wanted to be a long range 3-point shooter, and I knew that. Like, and I never stopped it. I promise you, to end the practice, to begin the practice, to start the practice, during the practice, he just launching that thing. Just full court from here. That's all he ever wanted to do. I don't know what happened to his shot now, but you know what I'm saying? But feel for the game. Right now, Jeremiah strengths, like, everything Jeremy got, he got, and I did not think it was gonna happen. I didn't think his IQ was gonna be there, but it's there. You know, his passing ability, I didn't think he'd have it, but it's there.
Shout out to me this year.
Defense picking up, you know, handle off the chain. The will to win is coming. The competitiveness is there. Like, he picked up everything I didn't think he would get. I thought he'd just be like a shooter type. And now he got all of them. He got everything now. So he just got to keep working, man. Hit the weights, you know. I don't think they ever lifted Joliet before. I don't think they ever touched.
That's cap. I don't know.
I don't think they ever touched the weight of Joliet.
That's cap.
Once he hit the weights, he gonna be all right.
Okay. Jeremiah, if you could play with any current Illinois player, who would it be? Other than your brother, of course.
I want to play with probably.
Man, it ain't that hard, man.
Yes, I probably want to play with the twins.
Miles and Ruben?
Yeah, just because they bring so much to the game. Antonio, he run the floor real well. He could jump. His jump shot came along where he can handle the ball. And probably DJ from Whitney Young.
Yeah, I like DJ a lot.
Yeah,
I like DJ a lot. Yeah. What about you, Jeremiah? I mean, you played with some really good players. I mean, you was in the McDonald's All-American game, of course. But just speaking about the players in Illinois, if you could play with any player, who would it be?
Definitely probably would McCaleb count? McCaleb Rich?
Yeah. Technically, yeah. Technically,
probably McCaleb Rich or Cam Christie.
Oh, who?
Cam Christie.
Oh, yeah, Cam.
I like the way.
Yeah. He got a really nice jump shot.
Yeah, finesse.
He plays the game.
Fearless, though.
So, and this, what I'm gonna say is not a bad thing. He plays, instead of using the word slow, I'm gonna use meticulous. He plays very meticulous. Everything he does is just very machine, like kind of like Kawhi, like just his jump shot. He
put that thing up too.
Yeah, he will. He will. I like, and he's real quiet too. Yeah. Like he just
chill.
Yeah, real laid back. Okay, cool. I like that. Pop, you played at Ohio University for 2 years.
Yeah.
Then you played at Benedictine and professionally overseas. What was your game like? Scout your game today if you were scouting you yesterday.
Scout me.
Scout you if you was you now.
Right.
Scout you as a player back then.
Don't get to capping.
Yeah. See, they.
We want to hear it.
Like, here they go.
We want to hear it.
Here they go.
What type of player were you?
Better than both of them. First of all.
That's Cap.
How you know?
Cause I seen them highlights on YouTube.
Now let me talk though. Go ahead. Speak about your game.
I was athletic,
okay.
IQ. I had an ultra IQ too. I was quick, fast, great measurements for a PG. Pretty much 1, 2 everywhere I went. I was ultra competitive. Couldn't shoot it great. When I was young in high school, just a scoring machine. Scored the ball, and just one of the top players too. As I got a little bit older, I really became a big time shooter. But when I was younger, no. But other than that, like just real same kind of similarities that they got. Like both of them got like a lot of my game, just in a different way. I could see it through all three of them, even Jamari. So that was me.
Okay. Jeremiah, right now you're playing up with Bradley Beal, right?
Yes, sir.
What's that experience like?
My first time playing up in session 1. First game, it was not hard, but it was like took me some time to figure it out.
It was hard.
No, it took me some time to figure it out, but after that, it just started to come real like easy and learning like what I can do, what I can't do throughout the sessions. But
easy.
Definitely great. The team, they had chemistry before. They played together for 2-3 years before me. So I just came and joined the team to help.
How did they welcome you to the team? Was it one of them, like who was this young guy type of thing?
Nah, it was they welcomed me like family. First time I came, everybody was cool. We all got along. First practice through now, we all still get along. So it was just great.
And when you say it was hard, kind of playing up, like explain that a little bit. Like what was hard about it?
Just the competition. Like
okay.
School wasn't as competitive, and they wasn't as big and as strong as they are on the circuit. So just figuring out like how to use my body and how to use my skills and moves to see what work and what don't work.
Okay.
High level athletes, man.
Yeah. And that's something
different game.
When you and I talk behind the scenes, you used to tell me about that all the time, like just kind of the difference. Jeremy, when you played on the circuit and you played AAU ball, and I know at least I think it's a welcomed change and not having to play, but like kind of talk a little bit about what Jeremy is speaking about, like the competition, the strength, how you had to adjust. Talk a little bit about that.
I'd definitely say my sophomore year, I was playing with Brad Billy Elite and, 17s with Nick Smith, Jr., Brandon Miller. It was actually, I don't cap, but my job was kind of easy. Just to, run a team, play defense, get B. Miller, Nick, my shooters,
just get them
Kellen,
the ball.
the other Nick, just get them the ball, and make sure it's at the right time and when they open. So I just ran the team, but also, I kind of had some big games. Like my first game in PCM, I think I had like 18. So it was just trying to find my purpose on that team.
Okay.
So just really finding my purpose, and it was real light. I didn't really have to do much, but the competition and the athletes and competitiveness, it was different levels. So I kind of told Jeremiah.
Tell them that story when you played at La Lu, your first tournament.
Oh yeah, my sophomore year, we just had COVID, and Lalamere was the closest option, best option for me, and they were also having a season, so I ended up going there, and we go for our first tournament. It's in Washington, I think. I'm pretty sure it was in Washington, Virginia. Was it in Virginia? It was in Virginia. So we had our first game. We played Wasatch, and I had about like 6 turnovers. I just go out there and I'm trying to do floaters, shots. It's just like I never seen this before. Never seen these type of athletes, these players. And then after the game, I text my dad. I was like, this is kind of like playing in the pros. Yeah, sophomore, I was 15. It was a different level.
I text him back like, LOL. I said, you ain't got to college yet. You talking about pros, but that's what I mean by different levels. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's real live levels to this.
So when people see that stuff on the YouTube videos or the the highlights, it doesn't really do it no justice. The type of athlete, the type of IQ, the type of player,
actually being on the court.
Than actually being on the court.
No, different.
Way different.
Different for sure.
Yeah, everybody's much bigger, stronger,
Skilled,
athletic,
quick, long, quicker, faster.
So let me ask you, Jeremiah, because obviously last year, I traveled with you guys with Xavier, and forgive the ignorance of the question, because I just right off the back, I know there's a huge difference in that competitive circuit, if you will.
Right.
Just remembering what that was like, can you just talk a little bit about the difference in the athlete on that circuit versus the circuit that you're on now?
It was still on the circuit I played on last year with the team and Xavier and them. It was still some very athletic players and skilled players, but just felt like the circuit I'm on now is like a whole nother level. Like,
I think of it as like everybody on the team is like more athletic, more quicker, more usually independent. They have like their
one or two.
They're really athletic and really skilled players.
Right, but everybody
now every EYB is like the whole
every single
12
team.
So when you were just talking just now, right, one of the things that you said, like one of your breakout games on that circuit was 18. I've been watching you play for a long time, and you can get 18 with no fingers, right, on one foot.
That was his best game.
Right. And so when you talk about 18 points on the circuit and you scored 44 last year, like kind of talk about that, like 18 on the EYBL versus 44. Like, what's your highest game on the EYBL point wise?
18.
Right. So like that's a big thing. And y'all, are you saying that you don't really need to score a lot on the circuit? Like, just do your job, basically, is what you're saying.
Yeah, basically. It's like your purpose. So, like, some players on certain teams, their purpose is to just score and try to put points on the board for their team. And other players is to play your role. And some guards' purpose is to win, score, and play make and get everybody else involved. So, really just got to play your purpose.
Your role is different. And like certain situations, like basically what he's saying is he go on this team, depending on the personnel, he might have to score that thing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Depending on how much help he got, how many other scores, see what option he is. Like you might go on this team and barely score, because it's not needed.
Right.
Like he was saying, he facilitated to a lot of the top guys.
Mm-hmm.
But they different players. But Jeremiah on top team in the EYBL right now.
Right.
And he don't have to score like crazy because his whole team can score. Now he could have been on another team
and scored
and need to score.
Right.
So it's just that's for any level. That's college. That's league. You know what I'm saying? Your role could be different. Like Ben Gordon was that dude for the Bulls. You know what I mean? You go to Detroit or go somewhere else, and the role changed. Luau Deng, like Hakeem Noah. I mean, you could be a franchise player here and then go over there and then have more of a role.
Right. Okay. So far, you just graduated, right?
Yep.
Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Yep. Talk a little bit about both of y'all, your best moment in high school, on and off the court.
On the court, what would we probably say? Would you probably say that?
St. Rita.
St. Rita? Yeah, definitely. St. Rita or Cam Christie that game.
Rolling Meadows.
Rolling Meadows.
What about Whitney
Rolling
Young?
Meadows?
Whitney Young was.
That was
See how they do Whitney Young.
Whitney Young. I was on 10, but probably St. Rita, and probably Rolling Meadows, but mostly St. Rita.
The classic was alright too.
Yeah,
but
Chicago
foul
Classic.
trouble. You got foul trouble early.
Well, it was
but,
good for you.
Yeah.
I ain't like that. Anyways,
And what about off the court?
every day probably
Yeah, probably just our practices.
Practices,
Going
you
out
know,
of town for tournaments and stuff
going
like
out
that.
to eat.
Yeah.
Just the whole
experience.
The whole season was.
All right. Realistically speaking, Jeremiah, how much does rankings mean to you?
They don't mean as much as you get older, because you realize like anybody can outplay anybody. So the number they put on the side of their name or in front of their name don't really mean nothing. But every kid say the rankings don't really matter when they like in middle school and just now entering high school, but they really do care about it. But over time, you be like, anybody can outplay anybody, or you may not think he is good as what they think.
What that ranking is?
Yeah.
All right. Same question to you, Jeremy. Like right now, and correct me if I'm wrong. Right, when I last checked, you were 26 in the top 100 on ESPN. So, what does rankings mean to you, and is that ranking accurate? Meaning, did I get that right? I mean, I know you probably think you're
Close enough.
Yeah, I don't know what it is now, but you know they changed it the last few times. But rankings really don't mean anything. It's somebody else's opinion on a player, but sometimes it do show like your hard work and what's paying off.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, the main goal is college, and then hopefully after college, professional, whether it's NBA overseas. So at the end of the day, the ranking can't really get you to college. It can't really get you where you need to be. You still have to do it and put the work in. So,
what about you, Paul? What does rankings mean to you as a father when you see those rankings? And obviously, first and foremost, biasly, but realistically speaking, you feel like, I think my son is 25, or I think he's 5, or like what does that mean to you?
Man, so if I'm being honest, rankings don't mean nothing to me. I play the game, of course, because there is politics to this. But at the end of the day, like he said, and like he said, it's just a number. But for me, within, it means nothing. But from the outside looking in, it's what people take and run with. I really don't, humbly speaking, like I really do this. Like I can really look at a player and evaluate him and be like, he this or he that, or he can be this, or his potential is this or that. Like, I just feel like it's kind of a gift that I got. But if you rank number 1 or number 50, it really don't matter. But like Jeremy said, well, I think one thing I might have to disagree with, like, I think rankings can help a kid get to college. But what you do when you get there, that's a whole different ballgame.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because somebody can look at, he ranked this, he ranked that, or he must be good, or he can do this, or he got to be elite or high level. And me, I'm looking at it like, no. Or it's a kid that's not ranked as high, and I'm like, he the real deal. How? Well, he only ranked this, or he don't, like, that don't mean nothing. It depends on who doing the evaluating.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, like, what your game really look like, what do you really bring to the table when it comes to, your actual skill set, your value, and then once you get there, because I know a lot of dudes that was ranked real high and they ain't take their warm-ups off. You know what I'm saying? I done came up with some ultra athletic, highly ranked, and never took that warm-up off. You know what I'm saying? So, like, that don't matter. I tell them all the time, man, we got to be, you want the hype. Don't get me wrong, you want the hype, but you want to be able to back it up.
Right.
Because there's nothing more, in my opinion, there's nothing more embarrassing than getting the hype, the rank, the exposure, all that, and then you can't bust a grape. You know what I'm saying? So the rankings are really on me. I mean, you can look at right now, every year, college guys from NBA come out of nowhere, D2 stories, all that. Like
half of Miami Heat roster.
Man, it don't mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you really like that, or if you put in that work, it's going to show.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to show. So it's like, you put in that work, it's going to show. So it's like, I talk about the rankings all the time with, like, people, and it's like, for the youngins, like, I had to tell my kids all the time, you want to be ranked when you in, not that it matter, but it's not how you start, how you finish. You want to be ranked when you in 5th, 6th, 7th grade.
You used to say that a lot last year. You used to say that a lot.
You want to be the man when you in 8th grade, or you want to be the man when you a senior. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, that stuff don't matter, man, because it'll be, I don't know how many guys right now drafted in the lottery that probably this year that probably wasn't really like that or ranked like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The people that do the rankings.
Okay. Jeremy, tell us about your Olympic experience. Like, what was that like? That whole experience of representing the USA.
The first U16 was kind of wild, actually. I had just got injured, came off injury, still finished Peach Jam. I had broke my shoulder in a game against Team Mello. I went out for a dunk. Cam Whitmore, he actually in the draft right now, projected lottery. He tried to block me. I ended up falling, breaking my shoulder, but I still, KT tape, ice, E-hot, ibuprofen, all of that through like the rest of the Peach Jam. I was at home. My dad called. He was like, you want to go to U16 tryouts for USA? I was like, when is it? He said, you got to leave tomorrow. I just took a whole week off and didn't do no basketball, no nothing. I was like, all right, come on. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
Shoulder all messed up.
Might as well. I go out there, I'm a competitor. I'm going to compete regardless. Go out there, make like the final 18 and make the final 12. And then, we end up going to Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
But it was during COVID, so we had to do COVID tests. The food was horrible. It's like they was giving us like frog legs. And like I never ate it. It was like 3 days straight.
And he a picky eater.
3 days straight, we didn't eat. We had practice, like everybody's missing layups, dead tired. It just wasn't the best. But overall, it was pretty sweet. We kind of blew everybody out, but Argentina was a really good team. We ended up winning by 15. I think it was 90 or 75. But we ended up winning by 15. It was good, just building bonds in a different, country. It was new, something we never did, never experienced. But I definitely say, the food wasn't the best, but somehow we end up, we found like a Domino's. They had like some like grill DoorDash, and like we one time we just randomly picked like a pizza. It looked like a pizza. It had mushrooms and stuff on it. Like we took it off, but then we finally like the last night we was just up all night and we finally found like some good wings. But back to U17. U17, I went in like let me try to make this when I'm fully healthy. The competition is a lot more better, bigger, stronger players, just ready to work. But I know like my leadership and the things that others don't have that I have can carry me and help me. So just going in there leading, everybody on USA that's probably there can score. I'm not looking to go be a scorer. Go be a leader. Go do something that others not willing to do. So just going in there, playing defense, talking, leading, just helping. Make U17. We go down there to Spain. We had a great group. We actually was on a beach. It's like a tourist town. We got to go to the beach every day. Competition is 10 times better because it's the world, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, world competition is 10 times better. Actually, if you don't come play, it's a possibility that you can lose. So we have to come in every game like locked in, ready to play, no mistakes. And that championship game is something I'll probably never forget. Just playing against Spain in Spain, it was about 7,000-8,000 people in the gym. They had drums. They had fire, like rings. It felt like when you was on the court, the gym was rocking.
Was shaking.
Like never experienced nothing like that.
When they hit a shot, it sounded like somebody scored a soccer goal.
Yeah, I remember their first 3 they hit. They missed like 2 in a row. They hit the third one.
Arena was
arena just going crazy. And then we end up getting in, like a little altercation at the end of the game. So like they was blowing us, sticking up his middle fingers. It was wild, but like overall it was a great experience.
That's what's up. And you just went through something similar, like when you went out for the Olympic team as well, didn't you,
Yeah,
Jeremiah?
that was mini camp.
Okay. And what was that like for you?
It was great. Just playing against some of the best competition in my class in 2024 and 2026, and some of the best players in the world, they say, or country, and just going out there and compete and just showing everybody what I could do, and all of the coaches and the staff and stuff like that. So it was good.
Do you think you're going to get invited back to try to...
They there right now. He can't go, in all honesty, because it's an age thing. So because of his birthday. So the mini camp was just like a blessing.
Okay.
He can't actually make the team.
Okay, got you.
He would have to been born in 07.
Got
He
you.
was born in 06.
Got you. Jeremy, Michigan State, they had such a rich history when it comes to guards. What do you think you can add to that?
I definitely can bring my leadership. Michigan State to have tough, hard-nosed guards, all of them. Come in, listen, ready to work, and just tough. Like, I know I'm going to come in and whatever happened, I'm going to be leading or trying to lead. Or whether it's on the court or off the court, bring my toughness, my playmaking. I know I'm ready to come in and,
What is the coach like at Michigan State?
Coach Izzo? I love Coach Izzo. Coach Izzo, he's kind of crazy, but he's not crazy. On the court, I'll definitely say he's crazy. Basketball activities, he's crazy. But off the court, great person. Caring, loving, family person. He just wants you to be the best person.
Okay.
And I think that's what really led me to choosing Michigan State.
Okay.
It just gave me a family vibe.
Okay.
And that was something that I really wanted.
Okay. Jeremiah, without giving away too much, because I know you're still going through the recruiting process, what have been your favorite school visits so far?
Michigan State.
Nah. Michigan State was nice. Oregon.
I knew you was going to say Oregon. Oregon just looked like it'll be fun just to be on the campus. But go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Nah, you all good. Oregon was crazy, though. It was the field, the facilities, the schools, the campus. All type of stuff. You was just like, oh, my God. And then the owner of Nike was from there, so they get every exclusive shoe and exclusive clothes. And all of the students get to, like, try them on to just, like, walk around the campus and stuff like that. So just going there was crazy. I liked Iowa. But
You said you liked Iowa?
yeah, it was.
I'm not going to lie. That's kind of surprising to hear.
Yeah, Iowa was nice. The team.
But you know what? Let me walk that back a little bit. Only because, like, being from the Midwest, you guys are like from Illinois, so like I should expect that. But being an East Coaster, like,
Yeah.
Iowa would no disrespect to Iowa, and Coach, they would never be on my consideration list. But it's not me, so I mean, it is what it is.
Wait, what was wrong with Iowa?
I just think it just looks
Coast.
boring as hell. I'm from the East Coast. I would never pick Iowa.
Man, the campus actually be.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
I listen. So whoever is listening to this, that's an Iowa fan, or I'm just from the East Coast. I wouldn't even consider. But I'm not that good of an athlete, so I would have never considered me. So I would never have to consider them.
You go downtown Iowa, you might have a ball though.
I might change my mind.
On the campus, yeah.
Okay.
Bussin'.
Okay. All right. I just don't see that. But go ahead.
And just the rest of the schools that like offered me a scholarship, I like all of them. And
that's a good political answer. I like that.
Hopefully, I can get down there to see see all of the campuses and stuff like that. So
okay, both of y'all. Start with you, Jeremy. During your process, tell us one thing you liked and one thing you didn't like during your recruitment process.
One thing I liked was definitely the communication.
Okay.
Just being able to give the family feel. Just felt like it was the place to meet some people I can trust.
Okay.
One thing I didn't like was maybe like the communication part again. Like not hearing from some coaches.
Right.
Not fully interested.
Did they hold it against you when they didn't hear back from you?
I was gonna say, that work too.
No, so like I dealt with that shit, and that for me that shit really got on my fucking. I'm not gonna lie, that was one of the things that bothered me the most. They want from you what they're not willing to give in return. I don't operate like that as a human being.
Right.
Like, just to give you an example, the relationship with me and your father. Your father has always shown me the utmost respect. So I if I'm not matching that, he should call me out on it. So I try to go above and beyond that. And it's the same thing. I mean, just because y'all young men, I feel like some coaches, they kind of take advantage of that opportunity of communication. Like, oh, well, he ain't calling me back. But it's like, well, you ain't calling him the fuck back either.
Right. It's supposed to go both ways. But I tell my son, so like, I just told him, was that yesterday, day before?
2 days ago.
At the same time, like, stay in contact with these coaches because, it's easy to get an offer. But, now you get an offer and you don't ever reach out to them or ever talk to them again, but you was calling them, before they.
Right.
Oh, so, for mine, you got to do it the right way.
Right.
You feel me? Because just like you said, on their end, you want them to go about it the right way. I want them to go about it the right way too.
Right, and that's how you got to be. What about you, Jeremiah? Like, what's some things that you like and some things that you dislike about the recruiting process?
I'd definitely say just the attention, I guess you could say, and like just being able to talk to some coaches you never thought you would have been able to talk to, like some dream schools and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
But something I don't like about it is what Jeremy said, like the communication. Sometimes you'll reach out and they won't get back to you, or they say they'll get back to you and say they interested and show you like they not really that interested. So you just be like, okay, it is what it is.
Jeremy, if not Michigan State, what school would you have picked?
Probably Michigan. Just like Jawan a lot, like the program, what they was building and what they have. That was another school that kind of gave me like a family vibe. They were kind of late in my recruiting process, but still just felt like if I would have chose them, it would have not been like a bad fit for me. He would have let me rock. He let his players play. He let them have freedom. He's cool on and off the court. All for his players and all for his team. I just felt like he's home. He's from hometown, right up the street.
Right.
Just felt like that would have been a good fit.
Okay.
What about Illinois?
Huh?
Oh, shit. Jeremiah, what exactly are you looking for in a school, a coach, a team, as you consider your selection?
Wait, not to get it wrong, though. I'm Michigan State, but they're the ops now, technically.
That's definitely the play style and how the coaches coach their players and how they treat the players, and just treating the players right and the families right of the players. So definitely the play style. Like, I like to play fast and play free and stuff like that. So I'll be willing to go to a school that'll let me play fast and play free and treat me like one of their own. So
okay. Pop, you own a restaurant. What's the name and the location of the restaurant?
Drinking Soul Food, 17 West 35th Street,
Okay.
Chicago, Illinois. Basically on 35th, in between Dearborn and State, right next to the White Sox Stadium.
Okay, and I'm here to verify that the food is good in that motherfucker. I ain't even front.
Yeah, go check it out.
Definitely go check it out. But I asked that for a reason, and the question is, how have you been able to divide your time between the business of your restaurant and the business of your sons?
Tough. you know, I tried to set it up to put it in position where it can kind of run without me being there.
Mm-hmm.
But I do miss a lot of work. You know what I'm saying? Like trying to get to visits and games and, you know, recruiting trips, workouts.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's, you know, trying to juggle it. Like, I don't get as much time in the gym with them right now, like, as I want. It's probably just, like, putting in work.
Mm-hmm.
But I kind of got them to a point now where they can kind of get that work in with other people and on their own.
People you trust.
People I trust, people they trust. Like, you know, they're not going to be really around nobody that I don't.
Oh, yeah. Well, I know that.
Yeah.
I personally know that. So, yeah.
Yeah, if
you ain't fucking with them, they can't be around your kids.
Yeah, no.
Which is, you know, I appreciate you allowing them to come on because if you don't mess with somebody, you don't let your boys be around them. And I'm like that with Xavier. I mean, y'all know that. Like, I don't let Zay be around just any old Tom, Dick, and Harry. Like, it ain't going down like that.
Nah, we ain't doing.
And Zay he know not to even ask. Like, if I don't fuck with him, you can't fuck with him.
Yeah,
it's just that simple.
Yeah, it's just a loyalty thing.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? It's like how you in the house.
But see, that don't just go for coaches. That go for his peers as well.
Yeah.
Some of y'all, I don't like to use the word friend just so loosey goosey, but like people that y'all rock with on and off the court. Like, I mean, it's a couple people that y'all know that y'all either played with, that y'all cool with. Like, I don't fuck with them, and I don't let Zay fuck with them.
Yeah.
And one of the reasons why I don't is I take this very seriously is because we're not from here, right? I wear that on my sleeve. And so I need to know that people, when he's out with them, they're going to look after him. I won't have that problem in Philly. I know way too many people that if Xavier's out somewhere, that anywhere in the cities I can get to him, or somebody will protect him.
Right.
I honest to God don't always feel that way when he's out here. That somebody will have his back, or somebody will protect him. Either won't allow him to get into something, or won't allow something to get into him. So like I'm very much like that. So, all right. So this is a part of the show as we winding down. I want to kind of get both of y'all's opinion on, you know, your peers. So my first question to Jeremiah is, who has guarded you the toughest this past school season?
I would definitely say probably Curry or Bennett, but I'm leaning most likely towards Bennett.
Okay, individually wise, who guarded you the best?
Who clamped you up, basically?
No, I can't.
Don't cap. You ain't get the best of everybody throughout this season.
Yes, it haven't really been one specific person.
Okay,
that's locked me up. It's been like more of like teams, that like
got you.
Try to zone in on me, and not just me, like him and our other player. They just zone in on us and make sure that we don't get off.
What about you, Jeremy?
I probably wouldn't say it's a player. I'll definitely say it's been a few team efforts.
Right.
Like just if it's been probably 1-on-1, I probably
gonna win the matchup.
But if it's 5-on-1, or like they want to be real physical and the refs don't want to call no fouls,
right,
then you got to work with
what you get,
what you got.
Right.
You know.
Who was your toughest guard? Who was it tough for you to guard, Jeremy?
This year, who all did we really play? I'll probably say Cam.
Cam.
Yeah, just for how quick his release is. He elevates up off the ground.
He do. He get real high on that jump shot.
He moves. He cuts. And, pass. He just don't stand. Probably Cam. Just, you can't really block his shot. It's hard to really, contest or be physical with him. Because it's probably going to be a foul. So I definitely say he moves a lot. It probably Cam.
What about you, Jeremiah? Who was your toughest person to guard?
In state, I would say Cam as well, just because of the height difference he had with me and him. But like overall throughout the season, I would say a guard from Cardinal Ritter. We played early on in the season, very first game. They had some very tough guards, physical guards, and guards that could score. So,
All right.
Cardinal Ritter.
And on the flip side of that, who was barbecue chicken for you? Who you give buckets to? Call them out.
Oswego East. It was a majority of the season it was buckets, but mostly Oswego East and Plainfield Central probably.
What about you, Jay?
Plainfield East. I gave him 30 and a half. 30 and a half. Yeah, that was so light. But I definitely, it was the night before me and my dad, we were shooting. And then the next day, I just gave him 30 and a half. Like, I had like the first 14 straight. I don't know, I didn't miss. But then, I just chilled. I just relaxed. It wasn't even that serious. But I gave him 30 and a half.
No, you had some good games, though.
I gave them 30. I gave Whitney Young 28, basically 30.
Rolling Meadows, 28.
Rolling Meadows, 28. A few teams got Metamora,
Few teams
26.
Metamora is the team with the kid with the long. Yeah.
State champion.
Yeah.
Yeah, them 26. A few teams this year definitely got
barbecue chicken.
Yeah, they got it. But they definitely got it this year.
All right, have either one of y'all ever been dunked on?
Probably both of them.
Who got you?
It wasn't. Luckily, no cameras was on, but it was Matthew in practice. It was an open gym.
In game.
No,
that counts. Matt,
you got slammed on the game this year?
No.
Oh.
What about you?
Practice
or game?
I remember it was like I was at this UIC camp in like 9th grade. First time I got dunked on was by Kennedy Brown. He's at what school he at?
Yeah, he was
Just
at a D1, but he going to Clayton State, right?
Yeah.
D2.
It was by him, and then just recently, like over the summer,
You
it was
just
like
got
2 times.
boomed in Cali. You set
Cali.
yourself up. The ball is like
that don't count. Okay, but
Why not?
anyway,
Why
it was,
not?
It was this big man from Houston Hoops. He rolled. I tried to take the ball. He dunked on me. He took off from like outside the paint.
Put him in a bucket.
And then supposedly in Cali, I got dunked on, but I slid out the way. I don't know how that didn't dunked on. I guess.
Jeremiah, you just recently transferred to a prep school, correct?
Yes, sir.
What do you expect when you going to this new school? Like, how do you expect to lead them? Like, what's your expectations going into this is going to be your senior year?
Junior.
Junior year. Okay. Going into your junior. So you got 2 more years to just absolutely destroy high school basketball.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So talk a little bit about that.
They have this thing called Geico Nationals. Like, it's real big on like all the best high schools in the world. So I want to win that and just lead my team to an overall winning record and be like one of the top guards and
Just put on
win
on
yeah.
ESPN too. They got a lot of games on ESPN.
Okay. And Jeremiah, going into college, your freshman year, what's your expectations? I'm sorry, Jeremy, my bad.
That's okay. My expectations going into college, definitely make all Big Ten freshman team.
Mm-hmm.
Try to win Big Ten freshman of the year.
Okay.
Win Big Ten championship.
Okay.
Win a national championship.
All in your freshman year?
Yeah. Try to get an all defensive team.
Okay. You don't hear a lot of that from high school players going into college.
I had just actually put it in my notes, all my goals,
That's
like
that
for next
winning
year.
mentality.
Try to average, I don't know, maybe 8 to 12, 6 assists, 4 or 5 rebounds. Shoot it well from the free throw line. Shoot it well from the 3. And maybe, try to get an all Big Ten team, whether it's first, second, third, honorable mention, just
Some good goals there, brother.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie. Those some big goals.
Coming in.
That's big goals, and I can't see why they not attainable. So, we're gonna be rooting for you in my household. So, name your all-time NBA team, starter and 6-man. All 3 of y'all.
Steph Curry at the 1. At the 2, I got MJ. At the 3, KD. I got KD. At the 4, I got LeBron. And at the 5, I got Shaq.
Who's coming off the bench?
Kareem.
Okay, that's not a bad. Okay, Pop.
Gotta be big.
Dang, I hate this.
Hell no, I know. I'm gonna go with Steph.
I was ready. Go ahead.
You ready?
Go ahead.
Steph, MJ.
Don't pick the same team as me, bro.
We gonna go Kobe at the 3. LeBron at the 4.
Brian will be disappointed. You think he a PG? Go ahead.
Point for it. We gonna
Kareem,
go
Bill Russell,
Shaq at the 5, most dominant. But we gonna put for my 6 man. I'm gonna go Ray Allen, general manager. You know, you got shooters. You need a shooter. Shooting is very important.
What about you, Pop?
Actually, I'm making a trade. I'm taking. Nah, I need LeBron. I need a playmaker.
All right, what about you, Pop?
See, the reason why they said Steph Curry at the 1 because that's my favorite player.
No.
I'm definitely going Steph at the 1. That's my favorite player.
It's me.
I'm going Jordan at the 2. They stole. That's how you know these my kids. I'm going Kobe at the 3.
Y'all picking the same
I'm going
team.
Tim Duncan at the 4.
Ooh,
I'm going Tim Duncan at the 4.
the big fundamental.
Yes, sir. And at the 5, they both said Shaq. I would probably normally would say Shaq, but I'm gonna go with the Admiral,
David Robinson.
David Robinson.
And who's coming off your bench? Who's your 6 man?
No, Brian ain't coming off the bench for me. I'm going with Nick Van Exel.
Okay, a little left. All right.
Quick
He
question.
definitely was. He definitely was cooking.
What?
Who passing on that team?
Nick the Quick? Huh?
Okay.
Who passing or shooting any threes on that team?
My team would definitely win because we all like 6'8" besides Curry.
And I'm gonna tell you who my favorite player was for a whole lot of years. So I might have to go with Carmelo Anthony off the bench.
All right. So I'm going Steph at the 1, AI at the 2, Mike at the 3. I'm going.
He Philly. He gonna get AI some love.
I'm going. I'm gonna probably go.
4 man is tough.
Yeah, it is tough on the 4 man. I'm gonna probably go ahead and go. I'll take Brian at the 4. I'm gonna take Hakeem at the 5,
Ooh, I forgot about it.
and then for my 6 man, I'm gonna go with either. I'm gonna probably take Jamal Crawford coming off the bench.
He one of the best 6 man.
6 man of the year.
I think Hakeem will give everybody
I was
buckets.
gonna go Jamal or Lou Williams.
I was gonna go Lou Will too,
They
but
killers off the
I mean
bench.
they are killers off the bench, and we had Lou Will in Philly, but so I already picked
Yeah.
the Philly. So yeah, that'll be my mines right there. Last 2 questions. First one is for Dad, and then this last one will be for the both of y'all. Pop, in Islam, we believe that our children pick us as parents. Knowing that, what does that mean to you that they picked you as their father? And just talk about the experience and importance of fatherhood.
For me, family was always big, so I take that real personal and a lot of pride in it. I could have been still playing like overseas to this day.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people probably don't know this, but like I came home early just to lock in on them, and it had nothing even to do with basketball. Just being present, you know what I'm saying? Like they'll tell you, like they probably used to make I don't know if how much they remember this, but they used to make like a little fun of me about being just like overprotective, because I'm a lot different like than they mom. So it wasn't no going outside really without no adult. The park was across the street. You could look at it. If we wasn't going over there, I ain't want them at the park. You know, ain't no swimming, no going with friends, no getting in pools, ain't no go spending the night out. Like, I ain't play none of that.
Well, I'm like that now with Xavier.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
and it's hard to let go right now.
Still, like if y'all want to have company, I wanted the company to come to the crib.
We can plan all the parties. We could do whatever y'all want. They just got to come over here.
Just right here, because you never know like what be going on outside. And I was a kid and I was young and I was a lot rougher than people know and think. And I got away with murder. So being a young parent, that help you with knowing like what the kids trying to get past you. You know, like my boys probably think they be getting away with a lot of stuff, but I already be knowing what they be doing. But I just can't be on top of everything. But I pick and choose my battles. You know, and you know, mom, she get it but don't get it because she a female and she don't really know how we think. So all the sneaking and creeping and, you know, hanging out and being rough and hanging with the wrong people in the wrong crowds and thinking, well, you can get away with this and that. Like, I done did and done it all. And I'm still super young. So I know exactly what be going on. But I don't be want to, like, you know, I try not to overdo it, you know, as far as, like, putting, you know, the cuffs on them. But, and I still try to let them be kids. But at the same time, like, it's 2023. And stuff was happening way before my time. During my time and after our time, but it just seemed like stuff just getting crazier and crazier. So I always had this thing where I ain't never want nothing to happen on my watch. So like if I'm not there, you know, and you get a crazy, God forbid, tragic phone call or something, like you lose your mind. But like happening on my watch, I'm not going. You know, ain't nothing crazy while I'm watching.
Right.
And like my pops always said, nobody better to do it than me. So sometimes I'd be thinking, I'd be driving. You know, as a kid, we done took 1 trillion trips all across the world. I'd rather be driving, because if I'm going to fall asleep and something happen, I'd rather it be under my control, not letting somebody else drive, you know, mom drive or a friend drive or a cousin or somebody. Like, I mean, I got to be absolutely dead tired to not, you know, to hand somebody else that wheel, because if I can do it, I'd rather do it because I trust myself. And you can't go wrong with betting on yourself. You know what I'm saying? Them consequences that I can live with if something happen on my watch. So, like, you know, family, I'm overprotective. Like, I don't, with all my kids, it's just what it is. So, like, they still be doing little stuff, and I'd be, like, not really wanting it to happen. But I don't want them to be thinking, like, I'm weird or nothing. You know what I'm saying? But
I know the exact feeling. I'm like that with Xavier. Just yesterday, he went to the beach.
Yeah.
He went to Indiana Dunes, and I had a difficult time with that. Like, because to me, that's the start of like
letting him
go. I'll tell y'all both. I know y'all know Xavier, and y'all know me pretty well. I'm not ready to let go.
It wouldn't even be so much of the letting them, you know, go. As far as me, it's so much crazy stuff happening.
Right.
Like, it could be a parade. It could be,
it's just it's crazy.
Yeah. It could be
it's crazy.
Taste of Chicago. It could be Six Flags. It could be anything, like mass shootings. Like, it's getting to the point where it sounds crazy, and I know a lot of people feel like what's gonna happen. But I just feel like if some of it could be avoided,
why not avoid it?
Why not avoid it?
Yep.
I just had a conversation with my son. They don't get it. Even like he wanted to go to Six Flags with his friend, and they just took off. And then we didn't know. I'm like, okay, well, what if I got a phone call? Something happened to my son at Six Flags. And I'm like, no, it didn't. Because my son at home.
Right.
He here, and he at Six Flags, and I don't know. And then he's sitting up there, you know, and he's smacking his lips. And then next week, it's a shooting at Six Flags. So I'm like, okay, what if he was there that day? You know what I'm saying? Like, stuff is getting crazy. I remember a little movie story when people was in the movie theater watching a movie. Was it Batman?
Yeah, Batman in Colorado.
And somebody came in and shooting.
Yeah. Yep.
And if you can do that in the movie theater, and if you can walk into a school and shoot and kill little kids, that's obviously some type of mental illness. If you could do that there, then anything is possible anywhere. You know what I'm saying? So like I'm overprotective with mine. It's actually just like one of my only fears.
So I have two. That is one.
Yeah.
And one of my biggest fears, and I hate to talk about because I don't want to speak it into existence, but I always feel like my fear is someone breaking into my home and doing something and I'm not there. That's like one of my biggest fears. And my wife teases me because it's like, that's one of my fears, but sometimes I'll fall asleep downstairs on the couch with the door unlocked.
Yeah.
Or with the door open if we've had the door open throughout the day.
So you just overly protective over the house.
I'm very weird in that way, but I don't apologize for that shit at all. Not in the least bit. So last question for you both, and it's kind of a two-part question. Okay. The first part is, what are y'all thoughts on this Ja Morant shit?
I feel like it's...
Before you answer, I know specifically your trajectory, right? So I do want you to be mindful of that. God willing, someday you're going to be among that elite playing in that league. So I don't want you to put yourself, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I want you to answer honestly, but I also want you to answer like with that in mind as well.
I definitely feel like it's a mistake, but also kind of got to remember like we in the big league, you in the big leagues now. So like maybe a minor mistake to somebody that's not you, it's not going to be an issue. It's going to be something small. But just because of, like, the name and the profile of who that person is, anything you do is going to, like, make it seem like it's the worst thing ever. So it's just, like, kind of got to be mindful of what's going on.
What about you, Jeremiah?
I would say it's a mistake, too. He just got to watch his surroundings, and I feel like he in Memphis, and Memphis ain't sweet, so he also got to protect himself. And if you watch Ja, you see like he don't ride around no security, nobody to protect him. It just be him and his friends. So
that's what he should.
He also got it to like protect himself too. So that's why I think he got it.
When you are that status, you know what I'm saying, you're not really supposed to be.
You're supposed to be inside anyway.
Or even if you out, you supposed to have paid people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So if it's me, if I'm Ja, and I want to be with all y'all, you know what I mean? Like,
it's a
you might
big,
have
big
one
motherfucker sitting right over there. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if y'all with me, if y'all can be security, like 3 of y'all should have one on you. You know what I'm saying? And if the other 2 don't, or like, that's what you, like if my boys ever made it or made it big or something, like they don't be riding around with no guns, but you had 1 or 2 people, you know, at all times.
At all
security.
times,
One on your left, one on your right.
Yeah.
And that's their job. That's what they get paid
That's what
for.
they get paid to do. All right, so last question. Take about 3 to 5 seconds. I want you to send a message to your future self. I want you to talk in third person, like Jeremiah, and then your message to yourself, Jeremy, and then a message to yourself. I'm going to start with you, Jeremiah. What's your message to yourself?
How long? Like 5 years, 10 years? Or just future?
Just your future self.
Stay focused.
Jeremiah will say just, like he said, stay focused, stay on track, and keep working towards being a professional athlete.
Jeremy, stay on the right path. You can do anything you put your mind to, and if you want something to happen, go make it happen.
I really appreciate y'all coming on. I texted Xavier today, right? And I told him that y'all have always been very supportive of the platform, your pop especially, but you know, whenever I call your dad, and as a father, I always run things through your dad. I mean, obviously I feel like I have the relationship where I could easily reach out to you guys, but I always run things through your father because like I want it to be on the up and up. But I just really appreciate y'all just always being supportive of the platform, always taking some time just to either come play or just, you know, whatever my family, pops, like just your like 2 years ago, I remember you called me. I was working for this job, and I remember you called me. I was in the break room, and you called me and was like, "Hey, I want Zay to come over and play on, with us on this circuit." And you just gave me some really good feedback, and it was like our first real in-depth conversation. But it was very meaningful to me. So I just really want to thank you for that, and I just want to thank all three of you. Like you raising some good boys, bro. Like for real. Like you should really take. You really need your flowers in knowing that, and I know it's a team effort with their mom and everything and the rest of your family, but sometimes fathers don't get a lot of the deserving appreciation that we pour into our boys. And like, I know I don't need to tell y'all got a good pop, and just continue working hard, and just never really forget the things that's kind of planted in you as y'all continue to grow and develop. And I just really thank y'all. Like seriously, like words can't really express how appreciative I am of y'all taking the time out of y'all day after just traveling and just making some time to pour into something that I'm starting. So I really thank y'all for that. Like genuinely, I appreciate it.
Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, no.
I need to camps, games, podcasts, workouts, all of it. Thank you.
A little pro-am thing.
Yeah.
None of that. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. Thank you. We're going to end on that note. I do want to send a quick shout out, obviously, to my producer, Bo, and Goldmine TV. I want to send a shout out to my guy, Tyree Booker and Numerex, and everybody that's supporting the platform. I really appreciate y'all. And as we continue to grow this thing, just keep supporting. We're going to get as many of these high school athletes on here as possible, let their voices be heard, get some of these bloggers, these videographers, these photographers, people that move the needle when it comes to Chicago basketball. And it's obviously, you guys are definitely the needle movers in this culture, and it needs to be said and it needs to be heard. So I really appreciate y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you everybody for tuning in and watching.